MrBeast is in big trouble. In the past 2 weeks, a couple controversies have come up concerning MrBeast, such as, everyone probably knows about this one, the Chris Tyson situation, but also issues with his Beast Games Amazon partnership that is being filmed right now, and his overall internet presence. So let's get straight into it. To start, I have found myself more and more disliking MrBeast over the past year, and I've basically stopped watching all of his videos. I still follow him on Twitter and all that, and I see his tweets, and I find him to be much more of a less respectable guy. But I do want to acknowledge, what he does for the world in his videos usually is good. He gives people money, helps out people in poor countries, helps blind people out. He's given money to charity, whether it's through Team Seas or Team Trees. He's helped the world. And I respect that. And I respect what MrBeast has done. But him as a person, there is a lot to dissect about him. And the fact that he does all these nice things should not be used as a shield for the bad things he has done, which the internet tries to do a lot, actually. You'll see a lot of the time people will be like, how can anyone hate MrBeast when he does all these nice things? You can do nice things, but also do bad things too. Let's begin with the Chris Tyson situation. So Chris Tyson was a member of the MrBeast team, and as branding puts it, MrBeast's first subscriber and MrBeast's best friend. Now, the guy became transgender, which you guys might not know my opinion on transgender people, but it's not that positive. I don't believe that you can change your gender. It doesn't make sense with science and anything really. You can't change your race, you can't change your age, you can't change your gender. And so I kind of distanced myself from MrBeast after he decided to side with Chris and even call out transphobia. MrBeast supported Chris's delusions, which is something a bad friend would do. I think MrBeast was a bad friend. And by putting Chris in these videos and keeping him part of the MrBeast channel, which, by the way, has the most views of any channel on YouTube ever, it's by far the most popular channel ever, he only supported Chris's delusions rather than helped Chris get the help that he needed. And so I am absolutely disappointed by that. And I lost a lot of respect for MrBeast. That was the first time I lost respect for MrBeast. Before then, I actually was quite a good fan of him, up to April 2023. But then Chris got exposed for being a borderline pedophile, and MrBeast immediately dropped him. And there was some disagreement on how that happened, because Chris claimed that it was a mutual decision, and MrBeast, in his one statement he made about it, claimed that it was an immediate decision by him. We don't know what happened, but it seems like Chris and MrBeast didn't really agree on this. In his tweet, MrBeast claimed that he was not aware of any of the behaviors that were happening with Chris Tyson, but after that statement was made, there was a giant leak of an old Discord that MrBeast Jimmy was in alongside Chris, and it shows that MrBeast, in fact, was aware that Chris was making pedophilic comments and really disgusting stuff towards minors. And it's funny because recently, MrBeast's tweet actually got community noted, and I knew it would be deleted. It got deleted, the community note. This kind of happens a lot. It happened with the Wilbur Sutton situation. Like, community notes on, like, speculative stuff like that shouldn't exist in the first place. I agree, but I thought it was kind of funny still that MrBeast got community noted. I guess the internet's finally turning on this guy, right? Well, no. He just uploaded a video a couple days ago from when I'm recording this now, and it still did super well, and there was no impact. Obviously, people were trying to comment about the situation, but MrBeast's team was like fucking going sicko mode, deleting all those comments, or blocking them, whatever. Honestly, it's a bit sad to see that MrBeast can just survive this type of shit without receiving any massive amount of criticism. But this is the most amount of criticism he's ever received, backlash, for anything he's done. Like, some videos talking about the situation and MrBeast in a negative light have millions upon millions of views, and that is satisfying. But I'm just disappointed that MrBeast isn't like a lot of other YouTubers who, when they just ignore a controversy and move on, their next YouTube video is like full of comments like, you can't ignore this one, buddy, you can't ignore this one, buddy. MrBeast, unfortunately, isn't like that. That's because of MrBeast's audience. Most of them are kids. Like, I know some kids who watch MrBeast, and I'm not going to tell them not to watch him or anything. Like, I'm just saying, like, MrBeast is pretty popular amongst the youth, and the youth tend to be unaware of controversies surrounding their favorite YouTuber. I remember this happened with MiniLad a couple years ago, and his fans didn't really care because they were all little kids. But the situation gets worse. The Beast Games controversy. Now, Rosanna Pansino is one of the nicest YouTubers on the platform ever, and she's, by fact, the only, large-scale YouTuber who's 100% against MrBeast. Most large-scale YouTubers are either neutral on him or very positive towards him, I think Moist Critical. MrBeast recently did a video with a bunch of YouTubers. All the YouTubers in that video are positive towards MrBeast. But either way, Rosanna is the only one who's negative towards MrBeast because she claims that she won a challenge, but MrBeast cut it out of the video and replaced her with Logan Paul or whatever. And so since then, she's been against him. And Rosanna is such a nice person, so I am inclined to lean towards her over MrBeast. Because it's clear that Rosanna is attacking MrBeast, not for money. If she was on MrBeast's side, she'd get more money and fame, you know? But it's more because MrBeast wronged her and she wasn't willing to forgive him for that. Because it seems like MrBeast has a history of trying to cover up controversies around him. But the Beast Games is filming right now. MrBeast received a ton of money from Amazon to make a show for them that is kind of like IRL Squid Games. It's called the Beast Games. And they're filming it right now. And obviously contestants are being involved. And there's a lot of bad stuff happening. And Rosanna is one of the only people who are like mass covering all this shit.
Because I have received messages from over a dozen people involved with the current Beast Games. Alright, so I have been receiving more updates about the injuries on the set of Beast Games, confirmed by multiple people.
Now, of course, it probably isn't all true. There's a lot of contestants in it, and a lot of people just lose and they get salty and they try to call out MrBeast, which I agree. That's wrong. Those people are wrong. And there's some accusations like MrBeast is treating contestants badly after they lose, and it's like, well, yeah, if you have like thousands of contestants, you're not going to treat everyone like perfectly. Like, especially if they get eliminated, you're probably like, oh, get out of here. You don't win anything, you know? That's just how it is. That's how the competition is. But also stuff like apparently they've been keeping girls' underwear, just like weird stuff. And MrBeast has addressed none of it. And that's part of why he's been getting a lot of hate on his latest video, because MrBeast, unfortunately, is such a big YouTuber with such a company backing that he probably can just ignore most of the drama surrounding him and tank it. And I'm sorry, I really do think all of this stuff that's been happening with MrBeast recently makes me think he's a scumbag. I really do think MrBeast is a scumbag. He's a guy who hides behind this mask of being the nice guy who gives millions of dollars away and helps charity. When in actuality, he's done some pretty shitty things, like cheat his competitions or support a transgender groomer. And no one's going to call him out for it because he's so big that everyone's afraid of calling him out. Like, the backlash towards the Chris Tyson situation was so little compared to the backlash towards the Dr. Disrespect situation, just because YouTubers are scared of calling out MrBeast and losing business opportunities with him. Because a lot of the people that did call out Chris for being a tranny received a lot of backlash, especially from MrBeast himself. Like Sunny V2, Sneeko, all those guys, they're never going to have a chance to be in a business relationship with MrBeast. And MrBeast is the biggest YouTuber ever. His videos get 20 million views the day they're uploaded. So people want to have a good business relationship with him. So it's just unfortunate overall. I'm keeping this video short because I don't really have too much information on the details about what's happening, but you can look up those videos yourself. And I don't want to spew false information. I am no longer a fan of MrBeast after this. I think he's a scummy guy overall. He's done a lot of bad things. And regarding the stuff from his past, I actually didn't bring these up because I don't think these are relevant. I'm judging him based off what he's done in the past year or two, not what he's done like 7 years ago. Because like there's clips of him like 7 years ago making like jokes about selling slaves and all that. And I don't really care about that. That was 7 years ago, right? I care about what he does now. And what he does now is bad, so I will not support him. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Bye-bye.